First up, we have Batman 1966, starring Batman and Robin, pretty much. We also have the Joker, the Riddler, Catwoman, and the Penguin all team up in this one film. It was a spin-off of the 1960s Batman show that was very well done in my opinion. Not true to the source material, but that's never been a problem in my head because sometimes, they just have to change things for film. But I very enjoyed Lee Merriweather as Catwoman. I enjoyed that. I also enjoyed Cesar Romero as Joker. It's one of my favorite Batman movies ever, I'd say. I mean, because for its time it was groundbreaking, but I also found out that a lot of people at the time thought this was a really crappy Batman show, like people that read the comics at the time. But I thought it was pretty good when I was like 8 years old. Next up, we have one of my favorites, The Batman from 1989. This movie stars Michael Keaton as Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Where in this film, I believe his name was actually Jack. They actually gave him a name in this. In the comics and his origins, he never had a name. But in this they do, and I really enjoy this movie. It's one of maybe my third favorite Batman movie, I'd say, on the list. Batman 1966. I know I said that was one of my favorites, but no, it's not up here with this one. This one was groundbreaking in effects. The costume looked great. These two, Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton, like the stuff they did before this movie, you never would have guessed they would have been perfect for these roles. But then you'd see, now that this is one of the greatest movies ever. And it had a sequel, and let's move on to that. And then it was time for The Penguin. And now The Penguin is my second favorite Batman film. And so I really like this movie. Michelle Pfeiffer, whatever her name is, she played Selina Kyle, Catwoman, and I'm glad they went with this Catwoman, Selina Kyle, that name for her, because I prefer that one for some reason. Danny DeVito was the best villain actor I have ever seen. He pulled off the role of the Penguin better than anyone I can imagine could. I hope they don't put Penguin in the live-action Batman film that supposedly is happening in 2019 with Ben Affleck. He's possibly directing it too, but anyway. Don't forget, Christopher Walken was in this movie. Yep. And Michael Keaton came back as Batman, of course, and it was his last movie as Batman, sadly. And then now let's move on to Batman Forever. Batman Forever was the first bad Batman film, I'd say. This is way worse than Batman 1966, because I actually enjoyed that, but Batman Forever had Jim Carrey as the Riddler, and I think that's where its biggest mistake was. Val Kilmer was not a bad Batman, but I really preferred Michael Keaton because this was supposed to be a threequel to the series, so it just made no sense. But I wish Michael Keaton, could have gone on for the third one. I think when this got a new director, when the Batman 3 project got a new director, they dropped Michael Keaton and cast Val Kilmer as Batman. I mean, no problem with it, but this wasn't my favorite. Nightwing, I hated him in this, or Robin, whatever you want to call him. I don't know, just wasn't a big fan of him. He had the funniest earrings I've ever seen. But, yeah, it was maybe my least favorite Batman film, other than the next one, which is Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin, the worst Batman film ever, played the worst Batman actor ever, which I'd say is George Clooney. This Robin, I actually did not hate him as much as the one in Batman Forever, but Mr. Freeze, my god, no. Arnold Schwarzenegger is great as Terminator, and he's great in other things, but don't make him Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze is supposed to be a skinny guy, just wants his life back, but in this, he was just kind of more of a villain than Mr. Freeze actually is, if that makes any sense. Now, Poison Ivy, seductive woman in the movie, that's the only way this movie made even a little bit of money, because no one gave a crap about Batman at this point, once they got him to screen. But, yeah, that's all I gotta say about this before I start ranting. Now, the Nolan trilogy I'm not going to do all three films by themselves, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, because we're running out of time. But, these movies, in my opinion, are fantastic. Christian Bale was the perfect Bruce Wayne. Might not have been the best Batman, but was fantastic. Especially The Dark Knight and Batman Begins. The Dark Knight Rises, by any means I loved it, but it just didn't fit with the rest of them. I feel like The Dark Knight Rises kind of went a place that the other two didn't, which kind of made it different and sort of original for a superhero movie. They never end with a superhero not being the superhero anymore. That never happens. Like, they always have to be called out in the end to do something that saved somebody. But in this, Batman's is done. Mainly because he's protected.
You either die a hero,
and nothing bad can possibly happen,
or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
I didn't like that movie, but I very much enjoyed this. I mean, it had Morgan Freeman in it, so where can it go wrong there? And I enjoyed the villain, Scarecrow, Joker, played by Heath Ledger, who is now dead. Rest in peace, Heath Ledger. One of the best Jokers, him and Jack Nicholson. Mark Hamill does a great Joker voice, but he's never portrayed him in a live-action film, so I can't say he's my favorite, but yeah. And Bane by Tom Hardy. Oh, yeah. Best Bane ever. The Bane and Batman and Robin. Oh, that Bane, I hate him. But yeah. Batman has evolved over time, and now he started off just like comical, and now he's super gritty, and I think he can make do with all of that. I mean, even Ben Affleck Batman will still be gritty, but he'll be great and old like we've never seen a Batman before, so we have a lot to look forward to in the future.